When we talk about cloud computing, different type of cloud computings are available, like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Infrastructure as a service is known as IaaS, also platform as a service as a PaaS, and software as a service as a SaaS. And when we take the example of infrastructure as a service, AWS EC2 is the example of infrastructure as a service. And when we talk about platform as a service, AWS Elastic Beanstalk is the example of your platform as a service. And Amazon Chime or web-based emails, these are the example of software as a service. Now we want to discuss what is this infrastructure as a service and who needs this type of service. And then we will be talking about PaaS and then SaaS. So when we talk about this infrastructure as a service, suppose in our case, in house we want to deploy some web server. So for, and we are expecting that thousands of clients will be visiting our web server. So for that, what we want, we have to purchase some strong hardware. First of all, what we have to do, we have to decide what will be the processor of that server that we are going to purchase. It could be i3, i5, i7. Lot of type of processors are available. Suppose we have decided that we need i7 server processor. Then we have to decide how much RAM, whether it is 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 64 GB. Then you have to make this choice. Then about hard disk, you have to make the choice whether you want magnetic or SSD hard disk. Then what should be the performance of your network interface card. Then we have to decide which operating system, whether we want Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Community Enterprise Edition or Ubuntu Linux or Windows Server 2016 or 19. That means you have to make lot of decision and then you have to place the order. Now the order can take weeks and even it could take months. Then once we have purchased, then if we want to change certain thing, like we do not want this type of processor, we want some other processor, or if we want to change the hard disk type, then flexibility is not there. But what we can do, now we can go to the cloud, and in the case of AWS, what we can do, we can use their Amazon EC2 service. What it provides, it provides secure and resizable compute capacity to support virtually any workload. That means if you have a normal workload, then you can use their normal instances. Whatever your requirements are there, they provide you hundreds of different options, and hardly it takes minutes to provision the server. In the case of physical, it can take weeks, even months. The moment we have decided that we need server, and the moment we are going to get, it could be weeks or months. But in the case of cloud, within minute you can launch your server. So infrastructure as a service provide you the virtual servers. And what are the other competitors? Even Google Cloud, they offer this compute engine service. That is also an example of infrastructure as a service. And if we are going to look diagrammatically, that mean on AWS hardware, what they have done, they have implemented either para virtualization or hardware virtual machine they have implemented. And on that, what we can get, we can get Linux instances or Windows instances. That mean even Mac instances you can get. Then according to our need, we can install other softwares. So in infrastructure as a service, what we are going to get, we are going to get either Linux or Windows machine or Mac machine and raw machine. That means we need to, if we want to use PHP, then we need to install that PHP. If you want to use some other software, you need to install. That means you will get the machine of Linux type or Windows type. So that is infrastructure as a service. We call these as a virtual servers also. But when we will launch the servers in this AWS, we call these servers as instances. That means we want either Linux instance or Windows instance. So that mean for hardware engineer, network engineers, they generally use this type of cloud infrastructure as a service.